Are you looking for a differential that can help you win your mini leagues and climb up the ranks? Or is there a player really, really stinking out your team? Here are the best transfer tips for game week 10. Let's get into it.
Yo, listen up, Rue is stepping up the game. Where fantasy Premier League runs in his veins. From transfers to captains, he's always on top, guiding you through every game week non-stop. They say Rue got that Salah flow. Welcome to the channel, enjoy the show. Wild cards, free hits with so much vibe. If you're hunting for success, then make sure you subscribe.
Good day, mate. Welcome back to the channel. I'm FPL Root and welcome back to another FPL video. So in today's video, we're going to be looking at the best transfer tips for game week 10, players that you should be taking out and players that you should be taking in. We're going to be looking at the players that most of you managers have brought in and most of you have taken out. If you are new to the channel, please make sure you do subscribe and smash a like on this video too. We'll start off with Cole Palmer, so the Chelsea midfielder, coming in at 5 million. Over 118,000 transfers in for Cole Palmer this game week so far. It is a little bit surprising as his fixtures are not the best. So Brentford at home, Spurs away, City at home, Newcastle away, Brighton at home. But a lot of people are bringing him in because he just got a goal against Arsenal and he got a goal and assist against Burnley, and then before that in game week 7 he got an assist. He is got 2 goals, 2 assists this season, and he has been on penalties, so that is massive for that price, 5 million. I am a little bit worried about the fixtures, as I've said, but for 5 million, you kind of any returns a bonus. An assist, a goal is a bonus for that price. If you can't afford Gordon, can't afford Neto, then I think Cole Palmer is the next best option at that sort of price point. 5 million, you're not going to get another player that's going to be on penalties and plays for a traditional kind of big 6 team. Yes, their fixtures, like I've said many times, are not good, but that Brentford at home game does look really, really good at the moment as Brentford, although they won last time out, haven't been that great recently. Spurs away is a derby, anything can happen. City at home, yes, that'll be tough, but all you need is a penalty. Same with Newcastle, and then Brighton at home is actually not as tough as it looks in terms of attacking players. So really, it's only the City and maybe the Newcastle game. City and Newcastle game is the toughest games. The Spurs game will be tough, don't get me wrong, but it is a derby. Anything can happen in that game. For me, he is someone I'm looking to bring in because I can't afford Gordon or Neto. If I could, I'd probably go for Gordon or Neto. But yeah, let me know what you think in the comments below. Do you think Palmer is now an option? So next up, we have a player that has been transferred out over 145,000 times. So Sven Botman. He is a player I've got in my team and I have kept in this whole time, where he was said he was probably going to be back. Eddie Howe said he probably was going to be back after the international break. He's not back, and he has just come out, Eddie Howe, and said that he won't be back until around the 11th of November time. He has got a knee injury. A lot of people did bring him in when Newcastle's fixtures turned good, and we only managed to get a couple games out of him. Those that went Trippier, well done to you, as he's absolutely smashed it since then. Here's 4.7 million, and even without that, Newcastle's fixtures are a bit of a mixed bag over the next 5 game week. So Wolves away, Arsenal at home, Bournemouth away, Chelsea at home, Man United at home. So there is 3 home games in the next 5, but Chelsea, Man United, Arsenal will be tough for Newcastle. For me, though, I think Botman, you need to take out your team. I'm going to be taking him out this week. Yeah, he's going to miss at least another 2 games, probably another 3 games. And for me, I don't think it's worth keeping him for that. I think there are better options out there in terms of defensive options, and we will cover that later on in the video too. But yeah, let me know below who's your Botman replacement. So another player with a lot of transferred out and another defender is Andrew Robertson. So over 78,000 transfers out, and he is 6.5 million. So he's not owned by a lot of people. He's only well, he's now 4.1% owned. So probably before that, he might have been about 5, 6, 7% owned. He is confirmed to be out until at least around the 13th of January. So if you do still own him, I probably would take him out. And Liverpool's fixtures, it's a shame because yeah, Liverpool's fixtures do look really good over the next 5. So Forest at home, Luton away, Brentford at home, City away, and then Fulham at home. So it is a real shame we have lost Robertson as an option, as a kind of alternative to Trent, who's very expensive. There is another player, which I'll talk about in the next slide, that could come in. So for me, I'd probably, get rid of Robertson if you do still own him, and we'll get this next player in, but we'll get onto it now. Yes, you guessed it. The next player is Tsimikas. So Robertson's basically Robertson's replacement. He did start ahead of him as Robertson was injured in the last game. He's had 116, over 116,000 transfers out. And like I said, Liverpool's fixtures do look really good, especially over the next three with Forest, Luton, and Brentford. He comes in at 4.5 million, and it's not only the defensive options you are looking at for him. So he does get in very attacking places, and he does whip in them crosses and plays them through balls. So he's a very attacking fullback. There is a slight concern that he might not play every game, but even if he does play, say, four of the next five, I think that's perfectly fine to have him in your team, and especially at that price point, 4.5 million for a Liverpool defender, one of the best defenses in the league. For me, I think it's an absolute steal, and I think I would be bringing him in. I probably am going to bring him in replacement of Botman this game week. So for me, I will, bring in Tsimikas, and I do think is a great option. Let me know below. Do you think he's a good option, or are we just kind of planning a transfer in the future when Robertson does come back? Let me know below. So we go from left back Liverpool to right wing Liverpool, another Liverpool player. As I said, their fixtures are incredible over the next three, and there's no surprise 200,000 managers that don't already own Mo Salah have decided to bring him in. I am a non-Salah owner, and I will be bringing him in this game week, and I can totally understand why. Yes, he's expensive at 12.8 million, but the fixtures over the next three, like I said, look so good. He's done incredibly well this season. It's not only goals though, it's assists as well. 7 goals and 4 assists. He's got 16 points and 15 points in the last 2 game weeks. He's got 2 goals, and obviously, yeah, 2 of them are penalties, but that's why you buy Salah, for the penalties as well, for the assists, for the goals. He's just got it all this season, and I think he is a must-have, and he is essential. For me, I will be taking out a player that I've been wanting to take out for ages, who I will cover in the video too, so I won't spoil too much. But for me, I think if you can get Salah, please do get him in. He's looking so good at the moment, and over the next 3 games, I can see him scoring at least 4 or 5 goals. So for me, yeah, he is a must-have, and I think he's a great captain pick for this game week 2 and game week 10. Let me know what you think below. Are you bringing in Salah, or are you just going to completely ignore him? Let me know below. So another player that is on fire the last few game weeks and this season as a whole is Ollie Watkins. 5 goals, 8 assists. Incredible. He got that, obviously, that massive haul in game week 7, the 23-point haul against Brighton, where he got 3 goals and 2 assists. Incredible. And his next 3 fixtures look very tasty. This is why 271,000 managers have decided to bring him in. So Luton at home, Forest away, Fulham at home, and then they've got Spurs away and Bournemouth away. So for me, the next 3 are incredible. 2 home fixtures, Luton and then Fulham, and then an away fixture at Forest. 8.3 million now he's gone up to. For me, he looks so good. He looks attacking. One thing to bear in mind though is he's not on penalties, so you're not going to be getting them penalties from him. Having said that, his kind of competition is Julian Alvarez, and Alvarez won't be on penalties either. So yes, Watkins a little bit more, but you kind of get that balance of neither of them on penalties. For me, if you can get Watkins in, I think get him in, and I actually do think he's a great captain pick for this game week as well, in contention with Salah, as Haaland does have Man United away. So for me, yeah, he's 36% owned, so he's still he's not as owned as some of the big players, but for me, he is a player that will perform over the next 3 and will get you at least 4 goals and maybe even 2 assists. Let me know below. Is Watkins essential? Is he better than Haaland at the moment? Please let me know below. The next up, we have a player that is probably going to be out for another game week or 2. A player that's kind of messed up the game week 10 wild card is Pervis Estupinan, with over 204,000 transfers out. This, like I said, this is because he has got a muscle injury at the moment, and Brighton haven't actually kept a clean sheet this season, which is very worrying, especially for those that are looking to bring in Brighton players on the game week 10 wild card. It looks like only Matoma is going to be a good option for this game week for the game week 10 wild card, which is why a lot of people are taking out Estupinan. If we do hear news though midweek from De Zerbi that he could be back in a game week or 2, then potentially it could be worth holding him. But for now, I think there are much better options defensively out there. So you got Tsimikas, who I've already spoken about, and we'll talk about some in a few videos time, but I'll give you one now as well. Tsimikas, Gahey looks good as well for upcoming fixtures post game week 10. Even Gabriel looks like a really good option. So there are plenty of options out there, even cheaper than Estupinan. So for me, I completely understand why people are selling them. Let me know below. Is he a must sell? I think he is. So last and definitely least, we've got Marcus Rashford. So a player that's only got 1 goal, 2 assists this season. I've had him from the start. He's been terrible for me. He's dropped 0.3 in price, lost me loads of money. 8.7 million, over 145,000 transfers out. For me, he's got to go. He doesn't he doesn't look up to it this season. Yes, Man United are grinding out results now. They've won 3 in their last 4 games. But for me, Rashford doesn't look on it. And with the amount of options we've got in midfield this season for FPL, I think there's no need to have Rashford in your team, to be honest. I'm sure a lot of you maybe have still kept faith in him, and obviously same with me, and we haven't been repaid. But do I think it's time for him to be sold? Absolutely, yes. It should have been done weeks ago, but I guess with how good their fixtures were, they had Burnley, Palace, Brentford, and Sheffield United. And even their fixtures post the Man City game do look really good too. Fulham away, Luton at home, Everton away. But for me, Rashford just doesn't look on it this season. And I think there are much better options out there. Saka, you could go to, Maddison, even Bowen look really, really good in place of Rashford, and they're much cheaper too. So for me, Rashford's got to go. Let me know below what you think. Do you think Rashford will turn these form around? I'm not too sure. Please smash a like on this video, and thank you so much for watching. Subscribe to the channel too, as it does really, really help me out. And I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.